嗨，欢迎来到 Onion English Sleep Radio。今晚我们一起聆听经典文学作品《The Wonderful Wizard of Oz》绿野仙踪。这部作品由美国作家 L. Frank Baum 创作，于1900年出版。故事讲述了 Dorothy 在一次神奇的风暴后，进入奥兹国的奇妙旅程。在故事中，你会听到一些实用英语表达。Set off on the journey， 踏上一段旅程。Face unexpected challenges， 面对意想不到的挑战。Keep moving forward， 继续向前。现在，让我们放松下来，开始 Dorothy's journey. Our story begins in a quiet place called Kansas. Dorothy in Kansas. Dorothy lived on a small farm in Kansas. She lived with her Aunt Em and her Uncle Henry. The farm was far away from the busy cities. It was a quiet place, a peaceful place. There were wide fields, open skies, and long roads. Every morning, Dorothy looked at the beautiful world around her. She watched the birds flying in the sky. She watched the wind moving through the grass. She enjoyed the peaceful life on the farm. But sometimes, Dorothy looked into the distance. She wondered what was beyond the horizon. She dreamed of seeing new places. She dreamed of discovering a different world. She dreamed of having a wonderful adventure. Dorothy had a little dog. His name was Toto. Toto was small, but he was clever. He was always beside Dorothy. They walked together. They played together. They spent many quiet days on the farm. Dorothy often talked to Toto. She told him about her dreams. One day, Dorothy said softly, "I want to see the world outside this farm." Toto looked at Dorothy. His little eyes were full of curiosity. The days on the farm were usually peaceful. The morning sun was warm. The birds were singing. The wind was gently moving through the fields. Dorothy loved these simple moments. She loved the beauty of nature. She loved the feeling of freedom. But one afternoon, something unusual happened. The sky slowly changed. The bright sunlight disappeared. Dark clouds began to appear. Dorothy looked outside the window. She felt something different in the air. The wind became stronger. The trees started shaking. The quiet farm was not quiet anymore. Toto became nervous. He ran around the house. Dorothy picked him up gently. "Don't worry, Toto," she whispered. "We will be okay." But the storm became stronger. The sound of the wind grew louder. The small house began to shake. Dorothy had never experienced a storm like this before. She felt afraid. She did not know what was going to happen. Sometimes, life changes in a single moment. Sometimes, an ordinary day can become an unforgettable day. And this was the beginning of Dorothy's amazing journey. The powerful wind surrounded the house. The house slowly lifted from the ground, higher and higher, farther and farther away. Dorothy held Toto tightly. She closed her eyes. She waited quietly. She did not know where the wind was taking her. She did not know that she was leaving Kansas. She did not know that a magical world was waiting for her. After a long time, everything became quiet. The wind stopped. The house slowly came down. Dorothy opened her eyes. She looked outside. The world was completely different. The gray sky was gone. The dry fields were gone. Instead, there were beautiful flowers, green trees, and colorful landscapes. Dorothy stepped outside slowly. She looked around with surprise. "Where are we?" she whispered. Toto looked around too. They were no longer in Kansas. They had arrived in a wonderful new world. After the storm, Dorothy entered a new world and the yellow brick road. Dorothy stood outside the little house and looked around carefully. Everything around her was different. She saw green grass, beautiful flowers, and tall trees everywhere. The air was fresh, the sky was bright. The world looked peaceful and wonderful. Dorothy could not believe her eyes. She looked at Toto. Toto looked back at her. Neither of them knew where they were. "This is not Kansas," Dorothy said softly. She remembered her home. She remembered the small farm. She remembered her aunt and her uncle. Dorothy wanted to see the world, but now she was in a completely different place. She felt excited, but at the same time, she felt a little afraid. She took a deep breath. Then she said, "I need to find a way back home." Dorothy started walking slowly. She followed a small path through the beautiful land. The path was surrounded by flowers. The trees moved gently in the wind. Everything looked like a dream. After walking for a while, Dorothy saw something unusual. Some small houses appeared in the distance. Soon, she saw some little people coming toward her. They were the Munchkins. The Munchkins were very happy. They smiled at Dorothy. They welcomed her warmly. "Welcome," they said. "Welcome to the land of Oz." Dorothy was surprised. "The land of Oz?" she repeated. She had never heard this name before. "Where am I?" Dorothy asked. "You are in a magical land," one of the Munchkins answered. "This is the wonderful land of Oz." Dorothy looked around. She wanted to understand everything. "Can you tell me how I can go back home?" The Munchkins became quiet. They knew Dorothy wanted to leave, but they also knew there was someone who could help her. "You should go to the Emerald City," they said. "The Wizard of Oz lives there." "The Wizard of Oz?" Dorothy asked. "Yes," they answered. "He is wise and powerful. He may know what you should do." Dorothy thought about it. Maybe the wizard could help her. Maybe he could show her the way home. "How can I find the Emerald City?" Dorothy asked. "Follow the yellow brick road," the Munchkin said. "The road will take you there." Dorothy looked down. For the first time, she noticed the road under her feet. It was made of bright yellow bricks. The road stretched far into the distance. It looked like a path leading to a new adventure. Dorothy smiled. She did not know what was waiting for her. She did not know what challenges she would face, but she decided to continue her journey. She thanked the Munchkins. Then she started walking. Dorothy and Toto followed the yellow brick road. The journey was long. The road was unknown. But Dorothy kept moving forward. As she walked, she saw many beautiful things. She saw fields full of flowers. She heard birds singing. She felt the warm sunlight on her face. For the first time, Dorothy realized something. The world was much bigger than she had imagined. There were many places to discover. There were many stories to experience. Sometimes, we need to leave a familiar place to discover something new. Sometimes, a difficult journey can bring us unexpected gifts. Dorothy did not know what would happen next, but she knew one thing. She was ready to continue her journey. Our story begins in a quiet place called Kansas. Dorothy and Kansas. Dorothy lived on a small farm in Kansas. She lived with her Aunt Em and her Uncle Henry. The farm was far away from the busy cities. There were no tall buildings. There were no crowded streets. There were only wide fields, quiet roads, and endless skies. Dorothy loved her home, but sometimes she looked at the faraway horizon and wondered what was beyond it. She dreamed of seeing new places. She dreamed of meeting new people. She dreamed of having an exciting adventure. Every morning, Dorothy walked around the farm with her little dog, Toto. Toto was her closest companion. He was small, but he was clever and full of energy. Dorothy often talked to Toto. She told him about her dreams. She told him about the places she wanted to visit. One day, Dorothy said, "I want to see the world outside this farm." Toto looked at her quietly, as if he understood every word. The days on the farm were usually peaceful. The sun rose slowly in the morning, the birds sang in the trees, the wind moved gently through the fields. Dorothy enjoyed these simple moments. She liked the beauty of nature. She liked the feeling of freedom. But one afternoon, something unusual happened. The sky began to change. The bright sunlight disappeared. Dark clouds slowly covered the sky. Dorothy looked outside the window. She noticed that the air felt different. "The weather is changing," she said. The wind became stronger. The trees started shaking. The grass moved like waves in the ocean. Toto became nervous. He ran around the house. He could feel that something was wrong. Dorothy quickly picked him up. "Don't worry, Toto," she said. "We will be safe." But the storm became stronger and stronger. The sound of the wind became louder. The small house began to shake. Dorothy had never seen a storm like this before. She felt afraid. She did not know what was going to happen. Sometimes, life changes in a single moment. A normal day can become an unforgettable day. And this was the beginning of Dorothy's amazing journey. The strong wind lifted the small house into the sky. Everything around Dorothy started moving. The house was flying, higher and higher, farther and farther away. Dorothy held Toto tightly. She closed her eyes. She waited quietly. She did not know where the wind was taking her. She did not know that she was leaving Kansas. She did not know that a magical world was waiting for her. After a long time, everything became quiet. The wind stopped. The house slowly came down. Dorothy opened her eyes. She looked around. The world outside was completely different. The gray sky was gone. The dry fields were gone. Instead, there were beautiful flowers, green trees, and colorful landscapes everywhere. Dorothy stepped outside slowly. "Where are we?" she whispered. Toto looked around with curiosity. They were no longer in Kansas. They had arrived in a wonderful new world. After the storm, Dorothy entered a new world. A new world and the yellow brick road. Dorothy stood outside the little house. She looked around carefully. Everything was new and unfamiliar. The place was beautiful. The grass was green, the flowers were colorful, the trees were tall, the air was fresh and clean. Dorothy could not believe her eyes. She had never seen a place like this before. "This is not Kansas," she said softly. Toto walked beside her. He looked around with curiosity. Dorothy did not know where she was. She did not know what would happen next, but she decided to stay calm. She knew one thing. She wanted to find a way back home. Dorothy started walking. She followed a small path through the beautiful land. After walking for a while, she met some little people. They were called the Munchkins. The Munchkins were very happy to see Dorothy. They came out from their houses. They smiled and welcomed her. "Welcome to the land of Oz," they said. Dorothy was surprised. She had never heard of Oz before. "Where am I?" Dorothy asked. "You are in the land of Oz," one of the Munchkins answered. "This is a magical place." Dorothy looked around. She wanted to understand everything. "How can I go back home?" she asked. The Munchkins looked at each other. They knew that Dorothy needed help. "There is someone who may help you," they said. "Who can help me?" Dorothy asked. "The Wizard of Oz," they answered. The wizard lived in the Emerald City. It was a wonderful city far away from this place. "How can I find the Emerald City?" Dorothy asked. "Follow the yellow brick road," they said. "The road will take you there." Dorothy looked down. She saw a road made of yellow bricks. It continued far into the distance. The road looked bright under the sunlight. It looked like it was leading to a new adventure. Dorothy felt excited. She also felt a little nervous. She knew the journey would not be easy. She knew she might face unexpected challenges, but she believed she could find a way. Before leaving, Dorothy thanked the Munchkins. Then she started her journey. She walked along the yellow brick road with Toto. The road was long. The world was unknown. But Dorothy continued moving forward. As she walked, she enjoyed the beautiful scenery around her. She saw green fields. She saw colorful flowers. She heard birds singing in the trees. For the first time, Dorothy felt that the world was much bigger than she imagined. She was no longer just a girl living on a small farm. She was now a traveler. She was on a journey to discover a new world. Sometimes, we need to leave a familiar place to discover something new. Every journey begins with a single step, and Dorothy's journey had just begun.